driveway. I have two very French and very purple cars. This right here is the Citroen CX20, and I actually have no clue about this car. It's never been on my radar. I've never been interested in Citroens. But as soon as I saw this, look at this rear windshield. It's freaking concave. Look at it. It's so weird. Then I started to appreciate these quirky little French cars. Look at the rear end. It's so weird looking. It's like an alien. It's got the self-leveling air suspension, which was first introduced with the Citroen DS. That car I knew quite a lot about because I wrote an essay about it back in school. And I did not know that this car is actually the successor to the Citroen DS. I always thought that the SM, the Citroen SM, was the successor, but actually no. The SM was supposed to be the sporty variant of the CX, but the CX is the actual successor to the DS. This car was introduced in 1975. The name CX stands for drag coefficient, because they were proud of how aerodynamic this car was at that time. It had a drag coefficient of 0.36, which isn't that great. Look at how far front the engine is. Look at how much space there is in here. Look, you can hide a dog in here. It's a freaking spare tire right next to the engine. Let's have a look at the back seat. Oops. Back here is very spacious. It's like sitting in a lounge. Look at these seats. Very Art Deco kind of style. Everything is black leather. But I want to show you the door cards. It's got this fabric, which is like a suit. Like suit fabric. It's like tweed or something. It's super nice. I really like it. Oh, this is the best part. This is how you open the door. You hold it like a pistol, and you see the trigger is right here, and you pull it. How awesome is that? So because this car is carbureted, it's gonna take a while to start up. The key is on the left side here, and then it fired right up. You gotta feather the throttle. The blinkers are here. It's like a toggle switch. You cancel it like that. So weird. Oh, it's the lights. And it feels so good. Can you hear it? It's so tactile. You know, the new cars now, it's all like touch buttons. Screw that. This is where it's at. So everything in this car is basically pneumatic, which means that the brakes are pneumatically controlled, the steering system is pneumatically controlled, and of course the suspension as well. But look at the steering wheel. I can turn it. It comes back. It comes back. And the brakes, the weirdest part, it looks sunken. Actually, no, it's not sunken. It's just the way it is. It doesn't travel. It's all based on pressure. Initially, it feels really weird. But once you get used to it, it's actually very easy to modulate. It's all pressure controlled. pressure sensitive braking, and I like it a lot. It's spot on. The brake feel is very good. I really like how you can control the strength of the fan using this scrolly knob. Usually in cars it's like notches, right? It's like level 1, 2, 3, 4. This car, it's, you want it this much? You want a bit more, or you want a bit less? It's all up to you. It's like a volume knob. It's so good. Infinitely variable. That's 1 snowflake and 2 snowflakes. If you click the 2 snowflake, you get circulation on. What the hell is going on? And you can't turn circulation off if you don't have double snowflake on. Tight. Ooh, nice. And the best part of this car, the air suspension. You can raise and lower the car. So let's lower it. And you can see, ooh, the car just sunk down. Let's put the hood down. Bam! There's a little latch right here. And you push it in. Okay. To reverse. The steering is really strange. It's like really light and it's self-centering. It's very unnatural the way it does it too. Ooh, you can hear it go pss, pss. It's so weird. I love this. This is so weird. Look. You have to keep your hands on the wheel at all times. Not that you should with other cars, but in this car particularly. Especially like, let's say I'm waiting at a red light. Let's say this is a red light and I'm prepared to turn left and I'm just waiting. I let go, oh, it comes back straight. So don't forget to keep your hands on the wheel, or just remember to turn it. It doesn't stay where you leave it, basically. Let me try to demonstrate the braking of this. So just going into the third, and then brake. It's not even moving. The pedal's not even moving, but I can modulate it so well. And when I apply pressure, it starts to hiss, like psst, psst. It's really cool. When you're going fast, it's actually really easy to control. The engine in this car is the 2-liter carbureted engine. That's pretty much all I know about it, unfortunately. You wouldn't expect much from it. It's a single barrel. But actually, you know what? I really like the way it's tuned. It's tuned perfectly. The progression of the throttle is spot on. On some fuel-injected cars, it's not even as good as this. On some cars, if you're at 90% throttle versus 100%, there's not much difference. The car will be making power at 90. But on this car, 90 is 90, 100 is 100, 50 is 50. You can really modulate the throttle really well. So even though the car is slow, it does exactly what you tell it to do. And because of that, you forget that it's slow and you drive it just flowing. It's a very flowy drive, you know. It just keeps on going and you're in tune with the car. It's really relaxing. This suspension soaking up all the bumps, and you roll the gears nice and slow. Nothing needs to be rushed. You're just thinking about, how can I make this driving experience more smooth? You know, it's completely different to the other purple car, the MI16. That car is always like, rev, give me more revs. You know, you have to be above 4,000 for it to come alive. This car, it's very linear. So I'm at like just below 2.5. I'm flooring it right now. That's all it's getting. But it doesn't get more exciting than that, and I know what I'm getting. So I don't want to push it more than that, and that's fine. It takes a while to get used to. So when I first drove it, like the first 5 minutes was just like, holy crap, what is this thing? It felt like learning to drive again. You know, it's that feeling like, okay, you really have to concentrate. But once you get used to it, it's so natural. It's so easy. This car is good at leveling most bumps, but if you have a sharp one, you better slow down. You see, it gets crashy. What I like is, look, 90%, 100%. There is a definite difference. 100%, 90%, 100%, 90%. That's why you don't feel like it's slow, because it's doing what you tell it to do. And of course, heel towing is impossible in this car. But you can corner pretty fast. Some tire squeal. Yeah, and it's squirting. So much understeer. Yeah, this car doesn't like corners. It's the wipers can't stand it. It starts to squirt. Rev matching is easy, but you cannot heel toe. So let's rev match the third. Oh, yeah, and the synchros on the third gear is not doing so well. And actually this engine sings. Not bad at all. I really like it. Very smooth. There is no harshness coming from this engine. The MI16 is quite harsh, to be honest. The engine, it's like buzzy, always buzzing. And the buzziness, you can feel it where your touch points are. So you can feel the engine buzzing on the steering wheel. You can feel it buzzing on the gear stick, and even the throttle pedal, you can feel it buzzing. This car, you can sort of hear it buzzing, but you don't really feel it. You feel it most on the throttle pedal. The steering feels isolated and very comfortable. It's weird at first, but once you get going, from what I know, it becomes heavier the faster you go. And once you're going, it's much better than at low speeds. Let's see the turning circle. Yeah, U-turn is really weird. Like, I'm not used to turning the steering wheel at low speeds. It's really strange. But at high speeds, it's okay. It's just hissing away. And then gentle with the third gear. There. I love the final 10% of the throttle. Perfectly tuned, so nice. Let's try to lower the suspension. I don't even know it's... Oh yeah, it's definitely lower now. Holy crap. And it's stiffer. Oh, interesting. Oh, it's bouncing all over the place. The ride is terrible now. Holy shit. Oh my god. Whoa. That is not good. Let's put it back to normal. Okay, I guess it's settled now. back to the throttle. That last 10%, it actually stiffens up. And it's kind of nice. It's like, are you sure you want all that power? And then you're like, yes. Press it down and it gives you more power. It's nice. Kind of like the EVs of these days, the regenerative braking. The brake pedal has 2 stages. So if you press it more, then it uses the actual brakes. But if you press it softly, it's using the regenerative braking. This is so inconvenient, but I like it. Convenience is overrated when it comes to driving. And the seating position is just so comfortable. I feel like I'm in a cinema, you know, and just kind of lean back, lounging style. It's very nice. Very, very nice. The footwell, there is no space on the left side of the clutch pedal, so you are forced to hover your left foot above the clutch at all times. You can put it down, maybe on the highway, but when I'm driving like this, it's on the clutch the whole time. I mean, hovering above it. I'm not actually touching it. It can be tiring, but you can get used to it. You start to build the shin muscle. And once it gets strong enough, you can do it for hours. That's what I like about old cars. You have to condition yourself to drive it, you know? Such a pleasant driving experience. So would I choose this over the 405 Mi16? If I had to choose, based on my current lineup of cars, I'd probably choose this car. Just because it's so different. You know, I don't have any car that is like this. It's just stepping into this car is wild. You look at this dashboard. In a way, I think it's better tuned than the Mi16. Less power, of course, but better tuned. And it's carbureted. Sorry. Love this car. It's funny because I asked my friend of all his cars which one he likes to drive the most, and it's actually this one. He has a lot of cars. He even has a 996 Turbo S. That is just funny. Quirky cars do it for us, people like us. And this is super quirky. Oh, this engine, I love it. It's fizzy, and you can feel it through the pedals. I love it when you can feel through the pedals. I love it, it's so good. Enjoyable, even at slow speeds. Let's take the long way. Look at how it self-centers. What? So freaking weird. You can't tell, but I have a smile on my face right now. Big smile. I love this shifter. Perfect. Creamy shift. That's how you're supposed to drive it. Smooth the fuzz, the fizz. Creamy and fizzy. And then great. Thanks for watching. Bye.